Hey everyone, welcome back to Tefillah Tidbits on Tuesday. I'm Rabbi Molly and I'm here with Josh. Hey Josh,
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So today this is our second to last video on our Kabbalat Shabbat series. We're looking at Psalm 93. So we had the Psalms leading up to Lechato D. Last week we talked about Psalm 92. Here we are at Psalm 93. And want to focus today on one of the verses, and it's about it's a little bit in, but this psalm has a different structure than a lot of the other psalms we've been talking about so far that are included in our Kabbalat Shabbat service. And this paragraph in the psalm, it says, though the rivers leap up, Adonai, the rivers leap up full voiced, though the rivers leap up in crashing cadence, more powerful than their sound, than the crash of all the mighty breakers of the sea below, is the might on high of Adonai. And then the psalm goes on after that. But so once again, here we are talking about nature in the Psalms. But this is a little bit different. The feeling is different. The context is different. And we're talking about the might of Adonai and how God is manifest, or how God manifests God's power in nature. You know, we have all these blessings. We have all these blessing formulas that exist to acknowledge and have gratitude for different aspects of nature. When we see a rainbow, for all the different types of plants and things that grow, we have blessings on, when we see a sunrise or sunset, all sorts of beautiful blessings to give thanks. And that is important to acknowledge and have gratitude for all the beautiful things. But we often talk about and focus on the greatness of God, and God as forgiving and as a source of comfort. And our psalm today taps into another side of God that is absolutely present in a lot of our texts, but we don't necessarily talk about as much, which is the fear aspect. So I want to turn us over to learn a melody to these words, and then Josh and I will spend a little bit more time talking about what's behind both the melody and the idea of the might of Adonai and tapping into that sense of fear and awe. So, Josh, take it away.
Mikolot Mayim Rabim Hadirim Mishberei Yam Mikolot Mayim Rabim Hadirim Mishberei Yam Adir b'marom Adonai, Adir b'marom Adonai, Adir b'marom Adonai, Adir b'marom Adonai, Mikolot Mayim Rabim. Hadirim mishperei yam, Mikolot Mayim Rabim, Hadirim mishperei yam, Adir b'marom Adonai, Adir b'marom Adonai, Adir b'marom Adonai, Adir b'marom Adonai, Mikolot Mayim Rabim, Adirim Mishperei
Na.
So that melody is from Nava Tehila.
I got carried away. I was really, I
Oh,
haven't
that
played
was
that one in a
awesome.
long time, so it's kind of like new again for me. And like
Uh-huh.
that one's heavy.
It's intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've done a few Nava Tehila melodies. Maybe too many. I don't know, but we
Never.
getting into a sense of the different melodies. But man, so I don't know about you, Josh, but for me, that melody, it's intense, and the way you played it was intense too. It's engaging. Um, it's not not pretty, but it's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's there's like this, yeah, there's an intensity to it. I don't even know how else to say it. What's
Yeah.
your experience on with
I
it?
think it matches well. I might have been what you said beforehand that kind of recontextualize it for me. But there's a beauty and it's kind of like the word norah, where we say in modern Hebrew it means terrible. Oh,
Mhm.
this is norah. This is horrible, and we use it to describe God.
Yeah.
Kadosh v'norah shemo. So obviously we're not saying God is horrible, but there's almost a horrifying beauty to God. I don't know if that's like if I'm saying that right, but there is something that is that moves you from a place that's not just comforting. It's like stirring something deep inside that can be unsettling and uneasy. And I think that they're using a chord progression in that song where you would expect actually it to be in the minor, actually, if you're going to switch to like E minor, chords. So I'll just say them. And then if you're going to switch to that C, D, E chord progression, it would typically be the minor. They use the major, and it gives it this extra oomph. As I was playing it, I could almost imagine myself like on stage, in like a rock show. Like wearing leather with spikes coming out of my jacket. Like it had that kind of raw power and intensity, which I think probably is intentional when we're talking about this crashing of the waves. Even greater than crashing of the waves is the raw power of God.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, so much, like, we like to think that we're letting go of all these things and going into a peaceful Shabbat, but the reality is that there's so much that it feels overwhelming and chaotic in our lives. And so I think it sort of speaks to that feeling as well, that sometimes we can just be overwhelmed, and that when I say the word Norah in a liturgical context, I think of that sort of that sense of being filled with awe, and it's a sense of fear, but it's almost just like in amazement and this overwhelming sense of fear, just of something so much bigger and more powerful
Yeah,
than we are.
I love, yeah, if because I guess if life is so overpowering and overwhelming, let's say at times, and stress inducing and out of our control feeling, then in order to feel like we have control, to appeal to, you know, God through prayer, to then that concept has to be even greater and more powerful. Which there's something scary about something that is even scarier than the power of life and nature and floods and windstorms and hurricanes and tornadoes and all that. So like I guess you can't create something more powerful or have something more powerful unless it itself is scarily powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that the words and also this melody speak to that, those moments when when you just feel that overwhelming sense. I had a an experience when I was leading an adventure camp for teens, and we were climbing Mount Rainier, and it was so beautiful. It was gorgeous, and we were having a grand old time. And then, just seemingly out of nowhere, a lightning storm came in, and just this moment of profound beauty turned all of a sudden to that sense of just holy crap, awe, that sense of like, there's so much that's so much more powerful than I am, and I have no control over this. And, we're frantically trying to get all these teens down the mountain or into places where they can be out, not just like, hey, out in the middle of, on top of a mountain. And it was terrifying. And when you were singing that, that would have been the perfect, if that scene were a movie, like I could see that being the music that's like, as we're trying to rush to safety. And it just, in those moments, all you can do is sort of just recognize that we can't control everything. And one of my favorite blessings that we have is part of the Torah service. It's Birkat HaGomel, the blessing that we say after we've survived something, because it's so important to note that those experiences are just as much a part of our lives and are just as important as all the good stuff. And those moments of real fear also bring in a different perspective of how we see God in the world. So. Well, thanks for bringing this melody to us, and we look forward to singing it with everyone at our Shabbat service at 7 o'clock this week. So we will see you there. Take care. Bye-bye.